Fantasy football is supposed to be fun. That's what they said. Instead, it's only freaking week 3, and the morgue is full of quarterbacks. The rest of your lineup is in absolute shambles, and you still have to put a roster together for week 3. Yes, I said it. It's only week 3. Welcome to Start Sit. Different day. It's Saturday. Injuries are piled up. That doesn't change anything. We still have to set our lineups with Josh Hutchin. I am Gator Jay. Good morning. Good morning. I guess.
Good morning. I was waiting for that third one. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll say it.
Don't forget, this show does run on your questions from the chat. Please drop those start-sit dilemmas in the chat. We will get those on air as quickly as possible. But, Josh, we talk about injuries. I opened the show with injuries, and there's a major one. Wednesday, we got some bad was it Wednesday or Thursday? We got some bad news. Green Bay, without Jaylen Reed now, is also got a question mark at tight end with Tucker Kraft.
Yeah, suffered a knee injury in practice, no less, which is never fun. The first report after the fact was, it didn't seem that severe. Further testing. Now there was talk that maybe he would line up on short-term IR and be out 4 weeks. And it's just like, he just had this great big breakout game. Now they're saying IR doesn't need to be the case, but he's likely to potentially miss this week. So if you are hurting and need a tight end for this week, hopefully your league is a little slow on the news and maybe you can still go out and grab Luke Musgrave. If you go to clubfantasyffl.com, you can check out Ryan Weiss's Stream of the Week article, and he's got 5 different tight ends this week that he likes for streaming purposes. So there's definitely some options out there that you can look to grab. But if I had to guess and make an educated guess, and I say guess because I am no injury expert and I have no inside information to the Green Bay Packers organization, but if I had to guess, Kraft is likely out this week.
Let's end the show right there. It's over. It's just done. Don't forget, please hit that like button for us. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe. Josh, before we get into the show, questions are already popping off in the chat. We got those starred. Don't hesitate. Keep putting them in there. We will absolutely get to you as soon as Josh tells us about our friends over there at Trophy Smack.
Absolutely. The fantasy football season is here, and Trophy Smack is where you want to get all of your rewards. They have trophies, rings, championship belts, all of it designed for you to show your league mates who the real champion is. But it's okay to show some love to others, and your commissioners would absolutely appreciate little gifts to help them feel special. So hit the link in the description of this podcast and check out some of the swag that you can get for your commish. But just remind them who the second most important person in your league is behind yourself. All of it is available at trophysmack.com/club fantasy.
Yes, absolutely. That is one of the best swag gifts you can get out there is some of those belts. Some of those, the rings are phenomenal.
I have one of the belts right there.
Oh, the Wolf belt. That's right. Also, we have a Discord popping off over there. I'll drop the link in the chat for you guys. Make sure you jump over and hit us up over there. We're always in there chit-chatting, talking shit, talking noise, talking game day stuff, start sits, trade questions, any of that stuff is in there. Real quick, before we get into the questions, let's get to the injuries heading into week 3. As just mentioned and gave us all the bad news, Tucker Kraft is questionable. Xavier Legette, questionable. Let me see if I can do this properly again. Abuka.
There you go.
Okay. Abuka is questionable with a hip injury. Tyler Warren also questionable. DeAndre Swift questionable. Brock Purdy questionable. That's actually an improvement.
Seems like he's going to miss also this week. That they're basically preparing for Mac Jones to have a second straight start.
Okay, there we go. Juwan Jennings is questionable. Xavier Worthy looks like he's going to play, but it's still got the questionable tag. Yes, Josh, I spelled that correct or incorrect. Isaiah Likely is questionable as well. Doubtful is Zach Charbonnet. And here we go. The outs. Woof. Joe Burrow. Aaron Jones headed to the IR, or is now on IR. Jaden Reed, J.J. McCarthy, Will Shipley, Chris Godwin, Justin Fields, Jaden Daniels, and Evan Ingram. Now, Evan Ingram is out with a back injury, and that is not caused by carrying the Denver Broncos. Just an
I just want to say, not to toot our own horn here at Club Fantasy, but while the entire industry was all over Evan Ingram being this like big time tight end edition, top 5 potential, blah, blah, blah with Sean Payton, we warned you. This was not a good fit. Aside from the injury through 2 weeks, definitely has not looked the part. Just saying, hopefully we saved you some headaches with the Evan Ingram pick.
Let's say good morning to everybody in the chat. Caesar, Andrea, Albert, we see you over there. Caesar's got a question for us to start us off. Flex one, DJ Moore, Ramondre, or Quinson Judkins?
I'm staying away from Judkins so far. It's only been one game. I want to see him get worked more into that offense. Plus, you really don't love the fact that Joe Flacco has thrown 90 times through 2 weeks. That only limits the amount of upside that Judkins has. So for me, this boils down to DJ Moore versus Ramondre Stevenson. I like Stevenson. We've been touting him all offseason. He was going to be someone that we needed to pay attention to. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm starting DJ Moore this week. If he cannot get going this week against Dallas, you officially need to raise the alarm bells, because this is Rome Odunze's offense. I'm starting DJ Moore. I want the pop. Ramondre is a great floor. So for me, it really just boils down to what the rest of my lineup looks like. But this is a week that you take advantage of the pop potential that is DJ Moore. So that's why I'm riding with DJ Moore.
Yeah, I think that's the way I'm going to lean as well. For everything you said, even though I can already put it into my book that yes, that is Rome's offense. DJ Moore is the wide receiver 2 on that team. Still want to see what Judkins is going to do. Ramondre still has the rookie behind him as well, even though he's getting all the work. So yes, it's DJ Moore for me as well. Excuse me. Jose says, morning, should I sit JMO for Keenan Allen?
Very similar to the last question, right? Like, Ramondre is a good floor. So is Keenan Allen. The Chargers have thrown a lot more to start this season than I think any of us really anticipated. This has always been a run-first offense. Much like DJ Moore and a potential pop week, that's basically what you get with Jameson Williams every single week. He has that upside for maximum booms, right? I don't love the matchup against Baltimore. Jared Goff traditionally struggles outdoors. This is an outdoor game. It's in Baltimore for Detroit. I've been saying it all week. We got 5 touchdown Jared Goff last week. Would anybody be surprised if we got 5 interception Jared Goff this week? That has been the tale of his career. Without Sean McVay and Ben Johnson as an offensive coordinator, Jared Goff has won all of 4 games out of 20. He basically has a 20% win percentage. This is a very good Baltimore team. Don't let the first week against the Bills, where they gave up 41 points, tell you the story of this defense. This is a good defense. I'm okay taking the floor here when it comes to Keenan Allen over Jameson Williams this week.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, 100%. I do want to get this one up real quick because I do want to talk about one of your favorite matchups as well with this. PPR needs a running back. Jordan Mason versus Cincinnati, Kenneth Walker versus New Orleans, Travis Etienne versus Houston. Which one of the 3 are you starting?
Yeah, for me, this boils down to Jordan Mason versus Kenneth Walker. I like what Etienne's done to start this season. Last few times he's played Houston hasn't been all that great for him. But this is definitely an opportunity where he can do some damage, right? But Mason against Cincinnati is a primo matchup this week. Cincinnati gets absolutely killed by running backs through the air. Without Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason is looking like somebody that should see about 80% of the running back share. So that's rush attempts and receiving work. There's nobody else really on that Vikings roster in terms of running backs that are going to really cut into that. So I mean, I like Walker this week against New Orleans, especially with Zach Charbonnet doubtful. New Orleans, their run defense actually has been pretty decent. And Walker needs those big plays. Like, that's what he ultimately thrives upon. Not 100% sure that he's going to be able to get that against New Orleans. But to me, you can't really go wrong with Mason or Walker, but I'm going to lean Mason this week.
Yep, you've talked me into Mason. Actually, Aaron Jones going down talked me into Mason, but I know you have Mason as one of your top plays as well this week. Why don't you go ahead and give us your other top play if you don't mind?
Yeah, let's start with the thumbnail. For me, it's Jaylen Warren. New England, again, their run defense has been really good. They don't allow much to running backs in terms of rushing yards, but they get absolutely torched through the air, giving up on average 7 catches and 56 receiving yards to running backs, and they've allowed 1 touchdown through those 2 weeks. So there is plenty of opportunity with Jaylen Warren's role in this Steelers offense that he can produce quite a bit of fantasy points this week, and I think he's a top 15 option for fantasy managers going into week 3 at New England.
Yeah, I like Jaylen Warren before the Najee Harris trade. I love him even more now. And we've seen the utter disappearance of Caleb Johnson. and now there's some kind of reemergence of Kenneth Gainwell has taken over that second position.
No, it's just he understands the pass protections, and that's what they rely on. Obviously, you got to protect the 41-year-old quarterback. So that's why it's the Jaylen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell show. Look, we see this all the time with rookies. It takes time. They have to understand the terminology. They have to get the assignments down. Don't be shocked by week 10, week 8 even, if Caleb Johnson is taking over the bulk of the running back room there simply because he's the guy that can carry it. But also too, like, the Steelers are a ground and pound kind of offense. Like, that's what they want to do. The only running back on that team that is fully capable of a huge workload is Caleb Johnson. That's how you're going to grind out teams when it's, 20 degrees up north. You grind them out, and Caleb Johnson has that ability.
Fair. Anybody else you want to bring up, or we want to get back to the questions?
Yeah, I want to mention George Pickens. Chicago gives up a ton to wide receivers. I believe they're the absolute most favorable matchup to wide receivers. We saw George Pickens get into the end zone in the fourth quarter last week. This is an opportunity where he could very well make this 2 weeks in a row. We know CeeDee Lamb is going to get his. Chicago is down their best corner, Jaylen Johnson. So they're throwing shit against the wall to see what sticks. And right now, Chicago, nothing is sticking. Everything is getting through that defense. Dallas is going to throw the football a ton. Expect George Pickens to challenge for a top 15 week at wide receiver.
As much Pickens as I have, I cannot wait till that actually happens. And then, of course, you brought up Jordan Mason a little bit ago. If you want to elaborate a little bit more on him real quick before we get back to these questions.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Jordan Mason show without Aaron Jones. Cincinnati, like I mentioned, they have been pretty stingy against running backs. They do allow fewer than 4 yards per carry. But again, they allow on average 7 catches, 56 yards, and 1 touchdown. So that right there, that is a 19-point floor on average for receiving backs. If Jordan Mason sees this kind of receiving work, and Carson Wentz has never been shy about dumping off to running backs, you're looking at a potential top 5 week for Jordan Mason.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Got to trade. Should I trade Genty and Devontae Smith for Jacobs? He would be receiving Jacobs.
I'm keeping Genty. I think that is a massive sell low on Genty. All of us had Genty ranked higher than Josh Jacobs heading into this season. While I do like Jacobs, I don't think he sees the receiving work in Green Bay that he did in Las Vegas with the Raiders. And that ultimately, caps his floor. Like, he needs 12 plus touchdowns and 1,200 plus rushing yards to ultimately be a top 10 back. Genty's going to get involved in the passing game. The touches are there. He's averaging, I believe it's 18 touches per game through 2 weeks. that's only going to go higher. This Vegas offense just doesn't have a ton of playmakers. I'm not selling low on Genty. You're keeping the Genty and Devonta Smith side.
Yeah, I think you invested way too much to downgrade the running back. Don't sweat the Devontae Smith thing right now. It's still early. That's an offense that.
Yeah, if I'm making this trade, it's going to be for someone like CMC at the end of the day, not Josh Jacobs.
Yep. Rushman says he burned a waiver spot, but was able to get Hunter. I'm assuming this is going to be Hunter Henry. I mean, not Hunter Henry.
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter. You think this is on the waivers?
It says wide receiver. What other Hunter is there?
Renfro.
I mean, that's if it's Hunter Renfro, okay, cool. If it's Travis Hunter, fuck yeah.
Yeah. That's what confused me because it's off the waivers. I don't think Travis Hunter would have.
Yeah, but I mean, depending on the league, like plenty of people overreact to stuff, right? Travis Hunter playing as much as he did on defense in week 2. There's plenty of people that drafted him to be a top 30 guy because Liam Cohen's talking about, oh, he's going to have this role. He's going to play more offense and defense, et cetera, et cetera. But the more defense he plays, the more scared fantasy managers get, and they think that they don't have that top 30 guy, and they wasted a draft pick. So, yeah, I mean, I'm fine. Like, if you grab Travis Hunter off waivers, which Rushman chimes in, like, yeah, he was dropped on Tuesday. So, fuck yeah, go get Travis Hunter. Like, sometimes, again, you're dealing with rookies, a special rookie, and a special case with a rookie in Travis Hunter's, So you just need to be patient, plain and simple. Like, you need to be able to let these things play out and just kind of see how it shakes out.
Yep, I think that goes right back to the question we just had too. I mean, like you said, it's rookies. You got to be patient with them. Got to be patient with them.
No, that's a great grab if somebody overreacted and dropped Travis Hunter.
100%. BK is injured. I'm sorry, I said that wrong again, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did. Let's do this. Abuka.
There you go. Perfect. That's all you need to do.
Should we be worried about his injury? Be careful and put another wide receiver in this week.
Look, at the end of the day, if he's starting, you're starting him. That's where I'm at with Abuka. Like, I'm not sitting him unless there's an out next to his name on whatever platform I'm playing on. Plain and simple. I'm not going to assume that he's T. Higgins or Jaylen Waddle, where he goes into a game hurt and comes out after 10 snaps and that's it, until history tells me that, or the present tells me that, right? This tells me this is just a case of them playing it safe. That's why, the injuries are there, like, the designations are there and all that kind of stuff. Like, you got some teams that, are going to take injuries a lot less likely, like a Kyle Shanahan, and overblow some shit and et cetera, et cetera. Like, Tampa's playing by the rules. He's nicked up. They're putting him on the injury report. And I think what we have to understand is that, what was it, like 5, 6, 7 years ago, whatever it was, when the league went away from the probable tag, questionable tags are in a lot of instances probable tags, right? So I don't think we have to overreact too much to a lot of these questionable tags unless it's something like Tucker Kraft, where, it's a late in the week injury that creeps up kind of thing. So like I said, I'm playing him unless he's literally ruled out.
Yeah, remember that's a 1:00 game, so just pay attention to those.
Yeah, so you'll get the update at like 11:30 Eastern.
So Jay was jumps in and said, it is Miami, Florida today. We don't have a bet.
I'm fairly certain that Gator wouldn't want to make a bet on this game because he knows that his team's going to get curb stomped.
I'm gonna need a good line in order to get that bet there. Caesar says Lover Baker.
I really want to say Baker, but that offensive line legitimately has me scared. The Jets can bring some pressure. They have some decent pass rushers there. Who do the Packers have this week? Where are they at on my sheet? Packers play the Browns. Browns have a really good defense too. Neither of them are playing. Actually, the Bucs are at home, so give me Baker. I mean, I don't think there's really that much difference in the two of them this week, honestly. Baker tends to scramble a little bit more, so you get some rushing yards from that instance, but I think both of them have the exact same touchdown upside. So just give me the guy at home, and that's Baker.
Fair. Kyron Williams, Jordan Mason, Tony Pollard, PPR. Need one.
Oh, I'm going Jordan Mason this week.
I think I am too, as much as I like Kyron.
I like Kyron too. Like I said, I think that game's going to be close. Like it's, the Eagles, over 400 rushing yards against the Rams in their last 2 games. Like they're going to come out hungry. Like they're going to play us well. Our run defense is okay. I don't think it's the best by any means. The Eagles I'm referring to, because I am an Eagles fan, if people don't know that. But the way that they're working in Blake Corum into this, like Kyron Williams doesn't have that 75, 80, 90% snap share that he has been. So it just makes me a little worried. So I'd rather get the guy with a good matchup that I know is going to get 80% plus of the snap share, and that's Jordan Mason this week.
Yeah, very, very, very fair. Let's see here. We got James Conner as my flex. Should I sit him for any of my bench players? His bench players are DeAndre Swift,
Wan'Dale Robinson, and you can move along. That man is just catching everything thrown his way. That's who I'm starting this week over James Conner.
That was pretty quick and easy there. Jake Browning, Mac Jones, or Sam Darnold.
Woo! Let's see. Kind of want to say Mac Jones.
They're at home against Arizona.
Arizona tends to play them tough, though.
You've got Seattle hosting New Orleans.
Yeah.
And then
I like the Vikings defense. They give up a lot. They're very much a bend don't break kind of defense, but and it's hard to argue with Browning's weapons. But again, you see how bad that Bengals offensive line is, and Brian Flores is one of the best schemers when it comes to defense, and he's so good at getting pressure. I do not like Browning this week against the Vikings. I'm going to lean Mac Jones, mostly because I just do not trust Sam Darnold.
I'm between Mac Jones and Sam Darnold, to be quite honest, because of the defense there in Minnesota. That's a rough one. Let's get over here to Keeper League. Chris Olave and a 5th for Chase Brown. And a first,
which I'm guessing would be a first round keeper, because I believe Jay Blows chimes in that Olave was like an 11th round keeper or something. I mean, I think it's too early in a season to worry about keeper value. At this point, I just want the best player, and the best player is Chase Brown. Like, if he's going to help me win, that's where you start, plain and simple. And Chris Olave right now, I don't think is helping anybody win games for starters. So give me Chase Brown.
Olave is not helping me win a damn thing. If Worthy plays, do I go Worthy or McLaurin?
It's McLaurin. I can speak from personal experience. I know how wonky shoulder injuries are. He needs to sit way more than 1 week. So give me Terry McLaurin. I know he's had a slow start to the season. Marcus Mariota, backup quarterbacks, they always tend to hyper target the wide receiver ones. I think this is a bounce back week for Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, I just don't understand how Kansas City doesn't sit him. I get that they're depleted.
Yeah, and Hoop chimes in that it was just announced that Worthy's not expected to play. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that makes that pretty easy. Andrea needs 3. Actually, she only needs 2 because Roma Dudes is an automatic.
Yeah,
start.
You're absolutely. Honestly,
Frank London, Nico Collins.
Yeah, I'm sitting Evans here. That's the only one that I think London target volume, Nico target volume, Roma Dunze breakout. All those guys are going to catch more passes than Mike Evans. Like Mike Evans has always been a, more touchdown based guy. So again, PPR, give me London, Nico, and Dunze. I'm sitting Mike Evans here.
We get the word at 11:30 in the morning that Abika is not playing.
Abuka, Jesus Christ,
Abuka is not playing. Are you then jumping Mike Evans into the lineup?
Then I would probably sit Nico.
That offense out there in Houston just wants to spread the ball out so much. That's why.
It's not even spread the ball out. They're just out of sync. Like they just have no idea what they're doing. It feels like Nick Caley being, from that McVay tree, everybody hopped on that hype train. But at the end of the day, you still have to learn how to call plays. And Nick Caley right now is not calling plays very well. So
Fair. DJ Moore, Jennings, and we not or DJ Moore or Jennings here. We know Worthy's probably going to be out.
It's DJ Moore. I just think he has more upside.
And if that's Juwan, he is probably going to be out as well. Even Drew says it's a half-point PPR. So
yeah, doesn't change. DJ Moore
doesn't change. Took way too much DJ Moore this year for sure, Joe.
Yeah, I definitely have him in quite a few dynasty leagues. My attempts at offloading him this offseason were fruitless. So I too have a lot of DJ Moore this year.
Do you like Gibbs this week going up against Mercer?
I like Gibbs every week, Andrea. I don't care what defense he plays. I like Gibbs every week. He offers way too much upside when it comes to the passing game. He can very easily get points where needed. So, yeah, he always has a safe floor, in my opinion. So,
Golden Hunter, Keenan Allen, or Ridley, pick 2 half-point PPR.
Ridley and Keenan for me. Travis Hunter, again, I like him as a talent. I think his upside is there, but we really haven't seen that big breakout yet. And now they're talking about playing 100 snaps between offense and defense this week, and I don't know how I feel about that. So with Golden, I like the opportunity there. If he makes those 2 catches last week, it's a very different stat line, and we're probably all on board the Golden train. But I kind of want to see how he's going to get worked into this offense. I'm still kind of on a wait and see approach with Golden. So give me the vets here. Give me Keenan and Ridley.
Should I pick up Ridley, Worthy, or Kurt instead of Franklin?
I would be picking up Ridley in a heartbeat. Same thing with Worthy, honestly. I just don't know how long he's going to be out. This is the way you do it. If you have a free IR spot, pick up Worthy, put him on IR, open roster spot, now go pick up Ridley.
I like it.
That's how you manipulate the system.
Although you got screwed by trying to manipulate the system this past week, didn't you?
Yeah. My freaking commissioner doesn't know the own rules of his own league.
Tron says, with JD5 out, I currently have Mac Jones in the lineup. Would any of these be better for week 3 start? Rodgers, Russ, Mariota, Penix, Darnold, or Wentz?
Oh, God. Let's see. Rodgers has New England. Russ is not going to do what he did last week. Giants play KC, right? Yeah, definitely don't love that matchup.
Yeah, that's too.
Mac Jones against the Cardinals.
Wentz
has the Bengals, and Mariota Vegas. Honestly, I don't hate Mariota this week. I think anytime he's had to come in, in these sort of relief roles, like, he has the mobility. He can get you, 5 to 8 carries per game. We know he's going to run. And especially with the state of that Commander's rushing attack, he might need to run. And quite frankly, Vegas is not a good defense. I think, honestly, he probably has the best matchup of all these. So I'm going to lean Mariota here.
Yep. I think I'm right there with you. How is it going? I need a running back, wide receiver, and a flex. Here's his choices. Breece Hall, Jaylen Warren, DeAndre Swift, who is injured, Debo, Jamo, Pearsall, or Troy Franklin.
All right, so the running back I'm starting this week is Jaylen Warren. The wide receiver I'm starting this week is Debo Samuel. And the flex that I'm going to start this week, I'm going to lean Pearsall. That's where I'm going to lean. Troy Franklin, I love the upside, and there's a clear connection there with Bo Nix. Until I see it more consistently, it just feels like a Sean Payton flavor of the week, and we've literally seen this for close to 2 decades. So I'm not jumping on the Troy Franklin train this week because that's just how we as fantasy managers consistently get burned. And I'm very much on the train of a Jared Goff come back to earth moment. So I'm not big on Jameson Williams this week. And Breece, I think it's stonewalled. So that Bucs run defense, I don't care if they lost Kalijah Cansey, they stop running backs.
All right, guys, before we go any further, I just want to remind everybody to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Join us over there in the Discord, where again we'll be talking all season long, game day, everything we got going on over there. I just dropped the link in the chat once again. Josh, I do have a guy that I like this week and going forward as well, and that's Zay Flowers, top 10 in targets this season with 20 total targets. Week 1, 7 receptions, 143 yards, and a tutty against Buffalo. Last week, he showed up big again, 7 more receptions, 75 yards versus Cleveland. He's wide receiver 6 on the season. Now, I understand that it's probably not sustainable overall, but I do see him as a top 12 overall and a guy that is becoming quickly a must start. Very much like some of these younger guys that we've talked about previously, that you just plug and play them and then just wait till they're injured.
Yeah, I mean, look, the first 2 years, Mark Andrews was still very prominent in that offense, and the target tree was a little bit more condensed and divided between those two. Mark Andrews seems to have fallen off a cliff and, got the yips, can't make the touchdown catches after the blown 2-point conversion in last year's playoffs. Zay Flowers right now is their only reliable target. And granted, I mean, they're not throwing a ton this year, but that's always been the case. So, even without a high ceiling in terms of passing volume, the target percentage is still high. So that tells me that Zay Flowers is very much going to have a role. And Cleveland plays good defense. Like Denzel Ward is a top-notch corner in the NFL. Still came down with 7 for 75. Like if I'm getting that floor every single week and then you sprinkle in some touchdowns, you have a top 10 wide receiver on the season. I love me some Zay Flowers.
Yeah, 100%. Especially where that offense is just flowing. Putting points up and everything. I do want to mention too, you guys have a lot of comments or a lot of questions in the chat. If you want yours to the very front of the line, you want us to jump it in front of everybody else, we do have the super chats available. You are more than welcome to do that. We are whores for money, I guess is lack of a better way of saying it. Josh, tell us about the Trophy Smack one more time.
Absolutely. The fantasy football season is here, and Trophy Smack is where you want to get all your rewards. They have trophies, rings, championship belts, all of it designed to tell your league mates who the real champion is. So hit the link in the description of this podcast. Check out some of the swag that you can get for yourself. All of it available at trophysmack.com/club fantasy.
I love how you're adding that in there to the sheet as we go. It's something we missed. Let's get back over here to a couple. Oh, what did we get here? We jumped in. Super chat right here from Stephen George. Hey guys, two quarterbacks. Full PPR.
No, it's 2 questions.
2 questions. I'm sorry. Full PPR start 1. Pearsall, Harvey, or Manangai, Tillman. I'm not even going to try. A or Manor. Okay. Kirk. And then the second one is a half PPR start 1. Travis Hunter, Sampson, Harvey, Manangai, or A. Mananer.
All right. Let's look at some of the matchups here. San Fran's got Cardinals. We've talked about them already. RJ Harvey is a hard no for me. Manungai, hard no. Who does Cleveland have? Cleveland plays. We just talked about this. God damn it. Packers. And then the Titans have the Colts. Full PPR, give me the volume with Ayamaner. I will say I do like Christian Kirk this week. It's his first game back. It's a revenge game against the Jags. I think that adding him back into that Texans offense could definitely help them get back on track. Just being a veteran presence in that room full of rookies and younger players. But I like what Ayamaner's bringing to the table right now. He's seen a high target volume. Clearly has a good connection with Cam Ward. So give me Ayamaner in the full PPR. In the half PPR, yeah, I'm gonna stick with Ayamaner. I don't hate Sampson, but again, I think that they want to get Judkins involved, which clearly lowers his ceiling and quite frankly his floor, honestly. Harvey's just not there yet. Manungai, we've seen quite literally nothing from. So it just boils down to Travis Hunter versus Ayamaner. So give me the guy that's truly seeing the target share in Ayamaner.
Not to throw any water on your take there, because I think I agree with you. But like my one question to that would be, if DeAndre Swift is ruled out, is Monangai anybody that you're even looking at now? The caveat to that is the Tennessee game is at 1:00. The Chicago game is not till 4:30.
Yeah, so quite honestly, you may not even know whether Swift is going to be out before the 1:00 games even start. So, but again, like what has Monangai even showed us?
Well,
he hasn't showed us anything. He hasn't really been healthy. They've been using Swift. He's not a prominent pass catcher by any means. So I don't truly think that Monangai is going to be some like savior to this Chicago offense. Like, it just tells me they're just going to have to throw the football more.
Fair. Rushman says, Jennings for San Francisco, Diggs for New England, McLaurin for Washington. Start one. Well, Jennings is probably out, so it's Diggs, McLaurin for you. For you, it's probably going to be McLaurin here.
Yeah, I think McLaurin bounces back this week.
Pickens or DJ Moore?
Oh,
all right. You're now
at this point, we're looking at 2 wide receiver 2s, which I didn't think I'd be saying when it came to DJ Moore, but yeah, I mean, this is the club fantasy game of the week when it comes to fantasy points. So, shit. All right, you know what? I'm gonna have to go Pickens this week, which I didn't think I would say. I do love me some DJ Moore, but I think Pickens right now just feels a little bit more in sync in that Cowboys offense than DJ Moore does in the Chicago offense. I like the upside for both these guys, and I'm not going to deny that. But gun to my head, I'm going to take Pickens over Moore this week.
Yeah, we've seen Dak just sling the ball over the yard. Even you look at last week, even in the loss against Philly, they did try to sling the ball to Pickens a lot. So I think it's
and I'll be honest. What really breaks it down for me, it's the corner matchup. Like we see good games from the Dallas corners. Like they shut down Philly wide receivers, right? But then they got absolutely torched in week 2. Chicago, they don't really have a good corner right now with Jaylen Johnson out. Like Tyreek Stevenson, the second rounder from Miami 2 years ago, it really hasn't found his footing yet. And I just think that provides a little bit more opportunity for Pickens.
All right, here's another.
Well, Chicago has no pass rush whatsoever. So
they've got a lot of injuries as well. They've got a lot of injuries on that defensive side of the ball too. Robin wants to get rid of DJ Moore. She has Diggs and Kupp on her bench. Who can she get for DJ Moore?
God, I hate these vague questions like this. Trying to think of like value wise here. I mean, I think it depends on if you're trying to chase a wide receiver, if you're trying to get a running back, if maybe you want to package more to like, tier up at a certain position. I mean, if I could take, I guess it really just depends on who else you have. But I mean, if I have Diggs and Kupp on my bench, I'm not looking to move DJ Moore because right now I don't trust either of those two. And Moore, at least, I think can, have some boom bust weeks that, would better help the team. I look at Stephon Diggs's snap percentage right now. In 2 games, he only has 1 game over 50% snap share, which we weren't thinking was going to be a thing. But that just tells me that maybe he's not fully back from the knee injury that he suffered last year. So they're trying to ease him in on his workload. Right now, JSN is the entire Seattle offense. So I think Cooper Kupp, like, he's just out there doing wind sprints at this point. I wouldn't be looking to get rid of DJ Moore, truthfully, if I had those guys on my bench. That's just me, Robin.
Well, let me ask you. I'll give you 2 players, and let's see what you think about these 2 players. Just looking at rankings here, DJ Moore's wide receiver 33. Just going to go just a little bit down the board. Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, which side?
Oh, Keenan Allen, 100%.
Marquise Brown,
DJ Moore.
All right, one more. Keon Coleman,
DJ Moore.
Okay. So there you go, Robin. There's a couple guys that are in that same little area as DJ Moore. To give you a little idea there. Albert says, pick 2 full PPR, BTJ, Devontae Adams, or Amika. Amika.
I can't with you, man. I can't with you. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm sitting BTJ among these 3. I think Adams is going to smash this week against Philly. And honestly, I'm not sitting Ibuka until further notice.
I think this next one we answered earlier, but we'll try it one more time. DJ Moore over Debo with no Daniels.
I still think Debo is going to have a good week. But I think the floor is safer with Debo than it is DJ Moore. So for me, it just boils down to, do I feel like I need to chase points? Like, did I go against Josh Allen, James Cook? Did I go against Tyreek Hill? Did I go against Devon Achane, right? Like, if I win against somebody that, put some people on from Thursday night that had pretty solid weeks, maybe I might chase the points with DJ Moore. All things being equal, it's close projection. Just give me the floor with Debo.
And this is how you people should be doing it. Subbed and thank you, Rushman. Appreciate it very, very much. Marcus starting Saquon Jacobs, London, JSN, Debo, Ted McMillan on my bench. I have Meyer, Bill.
I love how people just say Bill.
Just Bill. And we all know exactly who the hell they're talking about. Tootin, Franklin, and QJ. Should I swap anybody out?
You definitely need to get QJ in your lineup. That's for sure. Honestly, I think the only one that I would probably flip would be QJ for Debo. Like I said, I like Debo's floor. McMillan is the only option in that Panthers offense right now, so I'm not sitting him. Drake London, I do think, has a decently tough matchup against JC Horn, but the way that QJ has been performing, he's a must start for me at this point, and I would put him in over Debo this week.
And Tyler jumps in with a super chat. Start Browning or Stafford, Mason or Kyron, and Devontae Smith get me Tyreek or Devontae plus.
All right, so quarterback. I've already said I think the Rams wide receivers do well this week. Right now, Philly's pass rush is still a work in progress. I'm okay going Stafford over Browning this week. In terms of Mason and Kieran, I've already said this throughout the show. I love Mason this week, and I do think he has a higher upside than Kieran. Right now, I would take Tyreek over Devonta Smith. So, you can interpret that however you want to. If I can trade Devonta Smith plus to get Tyreek, I would do it. But I'm not giving up Tyreek for Devonta plus, and depending on what that plus is. But it's Tyreek for me.
Very fair. Josh, let's get in. We got about 15 minutes or so. Let's run through these questions quickly here. I need 3 wide receivers: Chase, BTJ, London, or McMillan.
Start 3. I'm sitting BTJ from this group.
Kyler, Geno, Caleb Williams, or Russ this week to replace Jaden Daniels.
Caleb, higher upside.
Good morning, Mr. Jamie. Good morning. Good morning. DJ Moore, Travis Hunter, Pickens, Debo, start 2.
I'm going to take. I'll go Pickens and Debo. I do like Moore this week, but I think sometimes when it's a start 2, I like to have somebody that I think has a decent floor. So I do think Debo has a decent floor, and I don't want to go too boom bust with DJ Moore and Pickens, even though I do think that to maximize your lineup, it would be Moore and Pickens. That would be where I would go. I want to chime in real quick on that super chat because Tyler mentions the second piece would be Jenkins. I'm assuming you mean Judkins for the Tyreek, the plus side of Devonta Smith. If I could get Judkins and Devonta Smith for Tyreek, I would not hate that. Tyler. Just throwing that out there.
Drop Charbonnet or Scattaboo. He has Walker, and he needs a roster spot for a kicker.
Well, that hurts. If you have Walker, I'm going to drop Scattaboo. I want to hang on to Sharps.
Over under on which week Napier gets fired. It may not be a week. It may be tonight.
I honestly doubt that the way that they've Napier finds a way to get hot towards the end of the season. I don't know. We'll see.
It's not like we can leave him on the tarmac, to be honest. And I was a huge Napier fan until about 2 weeks ago. Who says, is it too wild of an idea to bench Justin Jefferson for George Pickens this week? I have Nico and Ladd as my wide receivers and only one flex, so Pickens' upside is intriguing.
Hoove, I know you like the wild and crazy. Don't get cute. You're starting Justin Jefferson. Quite honestly, I would be more interested in sitting either Nico or Ladd and starting Pickens. With Nico, yes, he's the unquestioned one, but there's been a lot of synchronicity issues in that Houston offense. Ladd is banged up, and quite frankly, Keenan Allen and QJ, I feel like, are performing even better than Ladd. So if you do want to chase the upside with Pickens, I would be looking at Nico or Ladd, and I would prefer to sit Ladd over Nico.
See, and I would be completely opposite of that. I would be sitting Nico just because, yes, he's getting a couple of the targets, but without that touchdown last week, he still barely got over 10 fantasy points for you in a PPR. So, I mean, that's who I would be sitting. Jacobs, Mason, Javonte, sit one.
Oof.
You got Javonte at the Bears, Mason at...
My heart says sit Jacobs.
It's Cleveland.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of my point. Like, Cleveland plays good defense. Like, and I don't think people realize that. Chicago's a sieve. So, like, I want to start Javonte, and Mason, I think, has probably the best matchup of all three of these this week. So
I think I'm sitting Jacobs.
Yeah, I think I'm sitting Jacobs here.
Pick one, Quentin Johnston or Monangai off the waiver and drop Brian Thomas Jr.
Not even close. I'm picking up Quentin Johnston.
Same. Sutton, Judkins, Hampton, Tootin, start 2. PPR.
This week it's going to be Sutton and Tootin. I know the issues with Sutton. It's the pass offense. It's the merry-go-round of, wide receiver flavor of the week. But I still think he's arguably the most consistent option in that Broncos offense. I'm not ready to start Judkins with any confidence. Hampton's struggling, quite frankly. The interior of that Chargers offensive line just looks absolutely terrible. And Tootin is very heavily involved, not just in the running game, but also the passing game, and with it being PPR. Give me Tootin and Sutton.
Jamie has a trade offer in a 1-quarterback league. It's his Penix and Hurts for Neighbors and Butte.
I'm not giving up Neighbors for any quarterback in a single quarterback. And if you're single quarterback, why would you need 2 quarterbacks? So no, it's the Neighbors and Booty side for me.
Full PPR, start 1, Pearsall, Tillman, or Christian Kirk.
I think the matchup leans Pearsall. Like I said, I do like Kirk this week for a revenge game. Tillman's been great. Keep in mind those touchdowns have been kind of fluky. I just think Pearsall has the best floor.
All right. Might be one of the best start-sit questions or the this or that questions on a Saturday morning for tomorrow. Are you going nachos or wings for Sunday game day food?
Oh, I'm a wings guy through and through. Nachos are just boring to me. I'm not going to lie. Especially because after the sauce that's on top of them, the nachos just get soggy, and that's just not appealing to me at all.
It's all about the texture, Josh. It's all about the texture. What are your thoughts on A.J. Brown and Xavier Worthy?
Brown will be fine. Worthy needs to get healthy.
Short, sweet, to the point. John says Romeo Dobbs or Dontavian Wicks?
Wicks, I think, provides more big play upside. He's had a lot of concentration and drop issues in the past. He's catching 75% of his targets so far this season. So that's definitely promising. Obviously, without Jaden Reed there, there's more opportunity without Tucker Kraft. They need more of a downfield threat. The bigger question is it going to be Wicks or is it going to be Golden? I think Dobbins is the safest to play. So I would probably lean Dobbs, but it's going to really depend on which wide receiver tends to see the most Denzel Ward this week. And If that's Dobbs, then maybe Wicks is your guy. I think Dobbs still has the safest floor, John. So if that's what you need this week, I would go Dobbs.
So just to clarify, this is one of my leagues. This is who I'm playing, and this is why he's like, who do I want to play against? Because he started off the week on Thursday night with Josh Allen and fucking Kincaid, and is kicking my ass right now. So thanks for rubbing that in, buddy. T. Higgins or George Pickens?
It's Pickens. I know the narrative that Higgins was better with Browning 2 years ago. Higgins really didn't do much last week with Jake Browning. Maybe that changes this week. I don't know. It is a good matchup against Minnesota. Like I said, I think Flores is going to dial up a lot of pressures that since the offensive line is dog shit, and Browning's going to get really flustered. I really don't love Jake Browning this week, and Pickens has a primo matchup. So give me Pickens.
Another trade in there is Lamb and Jordan Mason for Chase Brown, DJ Moore, and Drake May. Who wins that?
You're smashing the CD Lamb side.
100%. Start Jake Browning or Goff this week. 4-point passing touchdown.
Can I say go search the waiver wire for a quarterback? Because I don't like either of these guys this week. Gun to my head between these two, it's Jake Browning. I think Goff falls back to earth this week. But I'll be honest with you, I don't love either of these this week, KB football.
Need one for my flex. Hollywood Brown, Pittman Jr., David Montgomery, Keyshawn Boutte.
I think Booty bounces back this week. It was a little weird, catches the one touchdown and then basically just like disappears, and the Patriots put up 33 points. But I think Booty is the primo piece of that New England passing offense. So I'm gonna go ahead.
Charlene wants to know Kenneth Walker III or Montgomery.
Oh, it's Walker all day, every day. I've really soured on Montgomery this year. I don't think he's going to have near the touchdown volume that he did. And I think people are kind of overreacting to the 50-point barrage from last week.
McJelly Jam says he traded Roma Dunze and Bill for Lad McConkey in a full PPR. I was betting on Lad's numbers to go up and rooms to go down. Was it a bad trade?
No trade is a bad trade after 1 week. I'm going to preface that. I think the biggest thing working against McConkey, and this is, this was a lot of my takes with him even before the Keenan Allen trade. Yes, he scored 7 touchdowns last year. High target guy. That's great. Quentin Johnston is their touchdown guy, plain and simple. And they're going to run in a lot of touchdowns as the season gets going. So, McConkey's ultimately going to need 1,200, 1,300 plus yards to truly be effective. And obviously we see how well Keenan Allen now is doing. I just think he has a lot more competition in that offense than people really want to admit. But we know how good Lad McConkey is. And at the end of the day, talent floats to the top. So I'm not that worried about it. That said, I probably would have kept the Roma Dunze side because I get a free running back, even if I'm not the biggest Bill Krosky Merritt fan. He's a starting running back, and there's value to that. So, again, I don't think it's a terrible trade. Let me just preface that. But I think it really just boils down to personal preference. You like Roma Dunze or you like Lad McConkey. And if you like Lad McConkey, keep rooting for Lad McConkey. You're going to get good production out of both those guys.
Wilson, Brown, Sutton, or Wandale for a flex?
Oh, it's Wandale. It's Wandale.
Start one. Kyron, Jordan Mason, Hampton, or Etienne. Non-PPR.
All right. The standard side of it makes it a little interesting because it kind of sucks away a lot of that bonus pass catching upside for Mason this week. Under most circumstances, this answer would be Kieran Williams because he does nothing but score touchdowns. And then the Rams decided to pull Kieran and give a red zone rushing touchdown to Blake Corum last week. And I just don't know if maybe he has the same touchdown upside this year. So I'm still going to lean Mason, but I wanted to think out that process since we're talking about a different scoring setting. Hampton's not there yet. ETN, like I said, I don't love the matchup against Houston this week, so I still think it's between Kieran and Mason, but I'm going to lean Mason just from the expected snap share.
I am with you there. Pickens or Devontae Smith start 1 PPR?
It's Pickens. Right now, just for as big of an Eagles fan as I am, and I want to trust that their passing game will get going, which I believe it will. I'm not really going to rely on them in a given week unless the matchup just screams, this is it. I think the Rams' biggest weakness is their secondary, but their front seven is really fucking good. And I think that's ultimately going to lead more to some Jalen Hurts scrambles than it will high-end wide receiver production.
Vintage wants to know, should he drop Tillman to stash Monangai or Woody Marks?
Nope. Hang on to Tillman until further notice.
On to him. That's right.
Yeah, until you see Joe Flacco either get benched or stop throwing the football a ton, you are hanging on to Cedric Tillman because he has value.
Tony Pollard or Alvin Kamara?
You could not pay me to bench Alvin Kamara.
Wide receiver 2, BTJ, Franklin, or Wandell? I think we answered that one a lot tonight with Wandell, correct?
Yeah, I hate saying bench BTJ because I think at the end of the day, he has more upside, but Wandell Robinson will not be denied. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting Wandell Robinson in a PPR league.
Sam Darnold, Mariota, Danny Dimes, or Indiana Dimes Jones. Should I pick up one of these? I have Baker in a 6-point passing TD and play him.
I mean, I'm still playing Baker. Offensive line issues are worrisome. I'm not going to lie. If I have a free bench spot, or if I have somebody at the end of my roster that I know is just never going to start, I would be okay dropping them and picking up Daniel Jones as an insurance policy. Because, like I said, the Jets do have a good pass rush. They have a good defensive line. And I think it's worth protecting yourself in the event that that offensive line shows a lot of leaks this week. Because that could be a future indication that maybe Baker's upside isn't what we've seen from the past couple of years.
Baker is the head coach whisperer. Stop it, Josh.
I'm just saying. But again, what if the offensive line just absolutely crumbles and he's not? That's the point that I'm getting at. Like, we need to stop thinking just in terms of the offensive players that are getting us fantasy points. Correct. And realize that their environments actually matter at the end of the day.
That's the reason we look and see who they're up against and what kind of scheme Correct. They're playing against. So yeah, 100%. Would you do Barkley and Tyler Warren for Breece Hall, Jordan Mason, and Brian Thomas Jr.? He only has Bucky as his other running back.
I don't love giving up the best player in the deal.
Probably 2 of the best players in the deal. Well,
I love Breece Hall. I think he struggles this week. You know what? I might make this trade. I want to know what my wide receiver room looks like. Because, and especially who my other tight end is. I mean, look, at the end of the day, you can stream tight ends. Like, I don't worry about giving up what I think could be, a top 6 tight end this year, because I can stream the tight end too, quite honestly. I think you're getting one really good running back. You're getting another top 15 running back. It helps round out your running back room with Bucky Irving. And you're getting a top 10 wide receiver. I don't hate this trade. I don't hate it.
No, I think I'm with you there. After you look at it a little bit longer, there's value.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those trades where, like, my initial thought process is I'm giving up the best player in the deal, so why would I want to trade Barkley? But
right.
I mean, look, if you're going to make a deal like this where you're giving up your best player, you need to be able to try to round out the rest of your team, right? Like, I understand BTJ has struggled, but I firmly believe he will bounce back, and I think he'll be a top 10, top 5 wide receiver when it's all said and done. And you're getting solid running back production there with Hall and Mason and Bucky. Maybe you don't have the same level of consistency from a week-to-week basis that you might get with Barkley. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely some level of what does the rest of my roster look like, but in a vacuum, I don't hate this trade.
Kyler, Geno, Caleb Williams, Russ, or Mac Jones this week to replace Jayden Daniels?
I think we answered this already. It's Caleb Williams.
Yeah. Just dropped Franklin for Ridley. Should I start him this week? Ridley going up against the Indianapolis Colts.
I mean, who would you be starting Ridley over? That's really the big question. Indy's defense has played really well. The volume's there. So, I mean, the breakout's eventually coming. Like, we just have to remember Cam Ward's a rookie, plain and simple. Like, he started against two of the best defenses in the NFL these first 2 weeks. Indy's defense played Tua strongly, but Cam Ward's going to put in the work and he's going to look for his guys. I don't hate Ridley's floor this week, but again, it just depends on who you're starting him over.
Yeah, he's averaging 7 targets in the first 2 games, so he's definitely gonna get it together eventually. Hopefully, it happens this week. Good morning, guys. Angie, how you doing? Bill Junkins Swift in a full PPR. Pick one.
Probably Bill this week. Yeah, it's against the Raiders. They kind of suck. I mean, that's the long and short of it.
Tell us how you really feel about the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, look, their defense just isn't it. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go Bill against the Raiders. And then when he has a great game, Angie, immediately put him on the trade block and find a new home for him. Because I'm not loving the Commanders' run game this year. And I think Bill is very overrated.
George Play says he needs help to start 2 wide receivers and a flex non-PPR. Ladd, Pickens, Worthy, Golden, Ridley, Harvey, Travion Henderson, and he said also add Tootin to the list.
All right, so non-PPR, you're looking for touchdown upside. Plain and simple. Worthy, you can cross out. I think by default, I'm going to go Ladd and Pickens. And then for my flex, I really want to start Henderson. I think this is the week that he blows up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in my flex, I want the boom potential. And for me, that's either Henderson or Golden this week. I'm going to lean Henderson just because he's a running back and it's non-PPR.
Herbert, May, Wilson, Love, or Jones this week? He has golf.
So I'm assuming this is in Superflex. And the fact that you have 6 quarterbacks on a Superflex roster, good Lord. It's Justin Herbert. I have literally no reason to sit Justin Herbert ever. So,
yeah, if this is the choices I have, it's Herbert and May. I'm sitting golf.
Yeah,
that's just the way I'm looking at it. Harrison Jr., Keenan Allen.
I'm assuming this is a trade since it's for Keenan Allen. I would still prefer Harrison Jr., truthfully.
Cedric Tillman or Calvin Austin this week?
Cedric Tillman. That Calvin Austin was such a fluke game. Everybody bought in. That's pointless.
Bench 1, Keenan Allen, Tet, London. He's got Puka locked into his lineup.
Good job on Puka because that is the smash play of the week. Got a bench 1. I'm sitting Keenan Allen of those, which I hate because I love Keenan Allen, but McMillan and London, they're the top dogs in their passing offense. So,
yeah, very fair. Start Jalen Warren, DK Metcalf, or Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba Hubbard. Yeah, it's Jaylen Warren. I think he goes off this week and it's full PPR. So
start Penix or Mariota this week?
I like Penix, but I'm gonna lean Mariota. I think he does pretty well against that really shitty Raiders defense.
So going back to Cap's question from earlier, he's got JSN and Jennings as other wide receivers he mentioned earlier. So there you go.
Wide receivers from earlier.
There was on. Let's see if I can get back to it. Here.
Not even the trade question. It was. Let's see. Picked up Fannin. So he's got that. Wide receivers. Oh, unless it was from the same question of BTJ, Franklin, and Wandale.
Okay. All right, that makes more sense. Who should I start between Chuba, Troy Franklin, and DJ Moore?
DJ Moore. I'm very out on Chuba Hubbard this week.
And the quarterback question where he had 17 quarterbacks from Marcus, he said instead of Goff. So it is a single quarterback, and both of us said Hubbard or Herbert on that one. Standard 10-team league trade: Dobbins and Pearsall for Tet. Who wins?
McMillan.
Yeah, I'm with you there. One more here: Devontae Adams, Cortland Sutton, Ricky Pearsall. Start 2.
I'm probably sticking with Adams and Sutton. If you want to make a case for Pearsall over Sutton, that's fine. But Devontae Adams is 100% the smash play.
Agreed. Josh, we hit it. We hit the hour mark. We are finished. We are over. If you have more start sits, make sure you jump over to the Discord. We are 100% in there all the time. Josh is in there and bitches because he's not getting any questions. Talk to him. Nobody wants to talk to him in the Discord, but that's okay. You can join us over there if you have any more. Don't forget our next show, Josh, myself, and Ryan get together Monday morning, and we will be bitching for sure. If not about this week, we'll definitely be talking about last week because I missed last week's show and I didn't get my bitch session in with all the injuries that happened. So thanks for hanging out with us. Make sure you subscribe to Club Fantasy FFL on Apple, Spotify, and Amazon Music. That is a wrap. Go set your lineups. If you have any quarterbacks that are still have limbs, you can set a lineup. No, seriously, no more injuries this week, please. We will see you next week.